Now, what is this that you done said about me?
Let me see. She's such a beautiful child.
No, what's this?
So
that
lovely.
You done said before? Mama choking
and so
on her.
wonderful, and I just love her so much.
Mm-hmm. We would but institute that. I got a charges against
and she is my favorite.
Prior to that,
all time.
All I hear is I'm gonna whoop. When I went outside to help you with your stuff, I'm gonna whoop you.
Never.
Lies.
Never.
Well, good morning, everyone. I guess it's time for me to pay the team, and it's Friday. Happy Friday. I try to spend a little time every day replying to comments that I get for those that are taking the course. So as people go through them, there are different times where I'm requesting that they put something in the comments specifically, or reply to something by putting it in the comments, in addition to like YouTube comments, Instagram comments, stuff like that. I try to stay on Instagram a bit more. It definitely took some time off and just spent some time relaxing versus just being really, really gung-ho about it. But I think I want to start doing more Instagram lives and really start focusing on doing dedicated lives specifically on a social platform. But what really is something that I'm excited about is today is Black Friday, or the day after Thanksgiving, and so there's a lot of different sales. I'm going to spend some time looking through deals on Amazon, figuring out what are some of the best deals for different accessories, put my list together for things I think would be most beneficial to the community, and stuff that I personally want to buy. But it's an f2.8. f2.8 is not as blurry, but $190 if you're looking to offset that cost a little bit more. So 35 millimeters at an f2.8, once you go outside or you have more depth behind you. So if you are let's say at a church or a nonprofit, you got a warehouse, something like that, or you're doing videos outdoors mostly, that f2.8 becomes more noticeable in those situations. If you're doing this in a home office, like I said, 35 millimeters on an APS-C lens, or like your ZV-E10s and stuff, this is not a lens that you have on your camera that you can reach up and touch the screen. That's a 16 millimeter. This is a ZV-E10. I have the Sigma 16 on this one. Okay, there. I'm about to scratch the lens. I'm so close. So it's still trying to acquire focus. You can see it's on my finger, but not the lens. So minimum focusing distance is how close can I get to the lens before it can't see anymore. So some of you all, your lenses are working fine and your camera is auto-focusing fine, but you are within the minimum focusing distance for that particular lens and it can no longer focus on you. I just finished running some errands today, just finished my last one, and I'm excited to try to get some rest today because I've been doing overnighters, accidental overnighters most of the time for, I guess, it's been a couple days. Usually what happens is when I'm trying to onboard somebody to the company or I'm doing interviews or what have you, I'm usually staying up and overnight for a time, or later, I won't say overnight, and it throws off my hours. And so then at that point, it's kind of a hard moment. But I'm looking forward to taking the day of tomorrow and doing a little bit of nothing. I recorded a ton of videos this week already, and I'm just really excited to kind of chill and do nothing. People of video conference, I'm still, even today, was taking some time to go through my notes and to just really look through everything, and even just kind of dissecting some of the questions and answers that I went through, things like that. I think one of the things that is always interesting to me is that no matter where people are kind of coming from, fear still plagues them tremendously. It's one of those things where it's but what if? And even when Dale Roberts started to give his talk and stuff, he was asking people to give their things of what they were afraid of, or what's the reason you haven't published your book. I went ahead and admit it. I'm afraid. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just so many other things in that space. Whereas in so many other areas, I feel absolutely fearless. and not because of any kind of longevity on any platform or being someplace or any of the stuff, but really just about me actually feeling comfortable and confident enough, even in my fears of whatever it is at the moment, or even doing something like this, where it's my first time actually using the sound bites, and I am completely comfortable with doing this. Could be because I have a podcast. Could be because the first thing I ever did was create a podcast. That was like one of my first serious forms of content. I hate that I eventually went and deleted that podcast when I wanted to change, but no regrets, right? So as I go into doing this, I shouted out, I'm afraid. Now, it's a comfortable enough venue to where I got some looks like, you afraid? It's like, yeah, I feel some kind of way about that, and I can admit that feeling is fear. For me, I've always felt good about conquering fears that I felt, right? Either way, I get it. So I'm saying that to say, and just be open and honest, that even in some of the areas where I'm afraid, I'm still pursuing it. I still got the course, and I still have been writing regardless and moving forward despite those fears. And I say that because I get a lot of DMs, I get a lot of emails about people being afraid of being on YouTube, whereas fear used to mean that, if you were afraid of something, that you were on the brink of death, like it was a lion about to eat you alive. Where fear isn't like that anymore. Fear is stuff like this. It's the social media content. It's all this other stuff that literally is just the things that are on the inside potentially could eat you alive versus something externally eating you alive. I'm grateful. Yesterday or last night, I had a nightmare that wasn't anything like so severe where I'm completely afraid or something, but it woke me up with like a sense of urgency again that I felt for a real long time about a lot of stuff, but it just was in the right areas, I'll put it that way, of the things that I want to achieve, the things that I want to become, and all those things. To be honest with you, and just to share what that was for a second, it just was like my old job. I had went back and decided to start working again, and I was getting paid like $20-some an hour, and then like, I'm not gonna get into details about it, but that was just essentially, it was nothing. People were like, hey, how stuff goes? Like, yep, still got business, still doing well. But the point was, I went back to my job because it was a place of like, that when you show up, even if your day sucks, you're still going to earn the X amount of dollars or amount of money at the end of the day or at the end of the shift, right? You're gonna get paid regardless, even if you slack off, right? Entrepreneurship isn't like that. Creating content isn't like that. But I was invigorated when I woke up because that's all of the things that I don't want. I don't want to go back to that. And it's like, and I even had to think for a minute, like, am I at a place in my life where I'm daydreaming or like literally dreaming that I'm not failing and I am kind of, I'm like, no, like I've been very successful with what I'm doing. Like there's no amount of failures happening, like in a legit way. And I'm super grateful. And it's just like, well, it just kind of woke me up to my own fears about there's nothing to be afraid about. Oh, well, soundbite's only 5 minutes. That took longer than that. Let's go to the end here. Maybe I can record a second clip. In time for the plane anyway.